Made of stories. I was away for 24 hours in a place quite unlike mine here, and yet warmly familiar, comfortable somewhere deep in my soul. What is it that attracts, that makes you feel as if this is where you've always been, that you've arrived in the correct place? It happens with people. You meet someone and immediately, boom, they've been there in your corner all your life. Connections are like stories, little shards of ancient memories, messages that find each other in our DNA, passed down and down and down. Same with trauma. The attraction can be negative. Fear and revulsion recognize each other and immediately join up. We are made of stories. From ancestors known and unknown, from places read about and lived, and they talk to each other. Fragments of some stories are like shrapnel, designed to penetrate flesh and spirit, to frighten and cower, latching into our strands of DNA. Those stories fire into my universe like an AR-15, rapid fire spraying everywhere, slicing unasked into my unprotected world. Some stories you can't unhear. DNA is an open source library. New stories are filed according to where they best relate. There's so much there, from the generations-old collection, that there's always a hook waiting for a new thread. I try to be selective in the stories I gather, but I can't stop them coming in, not always. I can feel which ones suffocate or have sharp reverse hooks on their branches, the ones that strip mine the trove of light and joy, lay bare the fear, ferment the anguish. These attractions are not welcome in my world, but they are in some way part of me. They have a place in my DNA, in the decades of stories that I carry with me always. So, I do have to recognize them, to name and catalog them, find them a quiet place in the catacombs, and then stock the front shelf space with new stories. Oh, and there are so many of those. Sometimes you have to find them, invite them in. Sometimes going to a different place, different people, sends threads and bubbles and whispers of stories like dandelion shrapnel into the edges and loose ends of my DNA, finding the stories to which they can attach, growing that part of library, filling those shelves. All we can do in this blizzard of stories that today's world hurls at us from all directions is to keep naming them and filing them, and spend time sitting with the ones that are warmly comfortable somewhere deep in the correct place, with the people instantly in your corner who have been there since before your life. So, let's send out our stories to float until they attach to a distant strand of DNA. I want the libraries that my dandelion finds to sit comfortably with the story that whispers to them.